Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to my sketchbook. Guess what? Speaking of being welcome back, we're going all the way back to 1985 for a moment. All the way back to Hawkins, Netflix Stranger Things at McDonald's. So you can get this as a Happy Meal toy box when you get a Happy Meal. And I didn't get all of the toys that you can get, so you can just go in and you can buy this stuff. Packaging is actually pretty cool with these. Let's see here. Lucas looking cool. Let's see. I got Will there as well. This is kind of interesting. So with this one, you get a little house. And then you look on the outside here. Let's see, that's an old-fashioned TV with the tuner antennas on top. Oh, that one already opened up because I guess I just unlocked it. Yeah, so you line up that pattern, and then it unlocks. And then, of course, inside here, there's 11 on an old-fashioned cell phone. It's kind of interesting, actually. Slightly better than what you got with the K-pop Demon Hunters. At least I think so. Come on now. All right, so now that's secured. Kind of interesting, actually, for what you get as a toy with your Happy Meal, by comparison to other things. But yeah, the graphics on that are really cool. So, let's set that aside for a moment. At some point, you may have heard me talk about having a huge Monopoly collection. Sorry about the ring light reflection there. This is a Monopoly game. Stranger Things. Of course, you get the tokens. Just regular kind of cool stuff that you would have had in the 1980s. And then, wow, from the upside down, there's the other versions of it, ripped from the upside down. It basically lets you know that things kind of changed. November 6, 1983, Will Byers disappears. It's a pretty cool kind of thing that we have going on here. With this, I think, let's move this over, because that's what I do in my little channel here, is draw pictures. It would have been kind of neat, actually, if McDonald's would have somehow incorporated this into, I don't know, the box or Happy Meal or whatever, but maybe not necessarily the product, but to have some waffles would have been interesting. But, you know, for them to produce waffles for a very short amount of time, well, they could have made it happen, I suppose, if they made the toys. Of course, I do have waffles here. For fun, we're going to draw a waffle. I think that's going to be kind of interesting. So if you would have seen a couple of videos ago, I would have drawn a grid pattern to make the Huntrix group logo, which is a neat looking thing. So we're going to use that same kind of technique to draw a waffle. I'm going to zoom in on this just a little bit to start. Let's go to this distance. And let's see how this goes. So this is a twin tip marker. I'm going to go with the slightly larger one just for fun. Now, pattern recognition. We're going to do a 5x5 grid, and we're going to leave a little bit of space. So that's one square, but we're going to go 5 across, but we're going to leave a little bit of space in between each. Those are going to be the ridges of our waffle. And we're going to do this kind of quick. Don't worry about accuracy. This is about fun once again. Accuracy is good, but fun is better. You have to imagine that each waffle is made individually, which they are not. They would be made in a factory somewhere and just sort of like, oh yeah, large quantities of these just kind of get rolled out. Years ago, I bought a waffle iron, one of those that you kind of flip, much like what if you were on a trip and you stayed at a hotel. It's kind of like one of those. Use it only a few times, and that's it. Speaking of that's it, there's our 5x5 grid pattern. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a circle out of this entire thing. We're not going to make it the same width as one of these little squares that we made, but it'll be close. We'll just kind of basically round out this square. Continue this pattern, but we're not going to have completed waffle squares. I'll leave a little bit of a distance as well towards the outside. Yeah, what do you like better? Pancakes or waffles? McDonald's does hot cakes, which is pretty fun. We have that. Now, we need to figure out what direction we want to view these in. If it's going to be straight on, from the bottom up, bottom to the left to the right, top down. I'm going to treat it as if I'm looking this way. So we're going to see the sides of the waffle. I'm making a double ridge like that because it's pressed from top and bottom at the same time in the cooking or the making process, kind of like in mold making. Next, because we're seeing it from the bottom left looking up, we're going. What am I trying to say? We're only going to see the inside pocket, the top wall, and the right wall. So I'm just going to make kind of a 3D effect like that. So it's almost as if I'm making a little tiny square in the bottom left-hand corner to reveal the wall. Kind of an interesting 3D effect that we're getting here. Of course, I'm wearing amber glasses, so I don't know what this looks like to you folks the same way. Hope you're seeing something that I've done here. All right, so that's the main waffle that we have here. I think the next part will be to add just a little bit of dimension of sorts to it. With that, I'm going to the inside upper right, and I'm going to use this color. And this is going to be to show a little bit of the depth, but not perfectly. This is just for the idea's sake. We're not going for perfect accuracy. Once again, this is just for fun. We don't really need to do much in the depth department here. I think, let me add a little bit there just for fun. When 11 would get waffles as a treat, uh, didn't really enjoy them as a toasted treat so much as just frozen treat, which I think is interesting. Let's go for a bit of toasting because that's how I like them. So I have a different color here. And I'm going to just add a little bit of toasting to the top ridge, because that's what I feel like doing. Do 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 do. A little around the edges here. It's no fun when you burn your waffle. Okay, so this is meant to just be kind of a quick study. Now we can actually add some lumps and bumps to that as if the batter kind of ran a little bit in the mold making process, so it wouldn't be perfectly round. Okay, good enough. Next, we're going to move this down a little bit. You know what? I'm going to back this out just slightly. Let's go to there. Okay, see if that'll lock down. Next, I'm going to write something here. Okay, well, I have a red marker this time, and let's see how this will look. Okay, and then maybe down here, let's write something else. We're going to say, although in 1985 we wouldn't have known this, but I'm about to write. We know now. I can move this up a little bit here. Well, I think that's it. Let's back this out just a little bit here. So what I've written says, turn your breakfast up to 11. Hey, Vecna, Lego my Eggo. Well, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Hopefully we'll see you again. All right. Ciao for now.